So in this video, we're going to talk about the scientific evidence of how coffee affects your body, your cognitive performance, and your mood. If you want to skip to any particular part in the video, I've included the timestamps in the comments below. Welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, consider subscribing and click the bell. So I rarely drink coffee in any shape or form or just a beverage with caffeine in it, except if I have a very intense few weeks of studying, for example, I drink a cup in the morning, or if I'm doing like twice a week a fasted run, I drink a coffee right before I go and run to just keep me getting boosted through the workout. So how many cups of coffee do you drink? Let me know in the comments down below. So first of all, how does coffee work? So coffee, as most of you might know, contains caffeine, and caffeine blocks the neurotransmitter adenosine. And the main function of adenosine is to dampen, to inhibit, or just to reduce neural firing, so brain activity. So when caffeine blocks the neurotransmitter adenosine, it increases neural firing, which can then increase the production or secretion of other neurotransmitters like dopamine, which increases mood, energy, and alertness. So the first part that we're going to focus on is how coffee or caffeine affects the cognitive side. And in general, coffee has been shown to really improve or enhance alertness and attention. These papers that reviewed over 80 double-blinded randomized studies show that even half a cup to 1 cup of coffee, it's like 30 to 70 milligrams of caffeine, can increase visual reaction times, specific attention, or general attention over a longer period of time, which can, for example, be useful when we're studying or just want to be productive. They also showed that caffeine can significantly increase the memory from word lists or facts, for example, but I've also shown that wrong words that were not on a certain list can be remembered better. So in general, caffeine helps staying focused on one specific task and staying focused over a longer period of time, which can then also enhance the memory that we have in longer periods. Coffee has also been shown to improve mood and the emotional state of an individual. Multiple studies have been done to analyze how coffee consumption correlates or affects depression or the state of depression that an individual has. For example, this study done by Harvard in 2011 that analyzed 50,000 women for 10 years found a strong correlation between the amount of coffee consumed and the risk to get depression, or the risk of depression getting stronger. That was way less. So they found that the more coffee you drink, the less was the risk to increase that state of depression or to get depression. But take this with a grain of salt, please. Correlation does not mean causation. So just because they occur on the same time or in the same time frame doesn't mean that the higher coffee consumption was, for example, the only reason that it affected the state of depression. And it has also been shown, as you might have experienced before, that it just helps you getting out of a momentary slump. So you don't really feel that well, you can't work that productively, you kind of feel tired. It can help you to get out of that slump, to just get started working, feel good about yourself, and then even with reduced consumption of coffee or no coffee at all, it eases to continue that workflow, that productivity flow that you have during studying, during work, or whatever productive things you're doing right now. So now that we've talked about how coffee can improve the cognitive side, like alertness, attention, memory, reaction times even, let's talk about the physical side, how coffee can improve or enhance your physical performance. As we've seen before, by drinking coffee, by consuming caffeine, we block the neurotransmitters adenosine, which dampen the brain activity. And by blocking this neurotransmitter, our brain activity, the neural firing increases. And with that, our brain starts thinking that we're doing something important where all of its energy needs to be focused on one point. And that doesn't just influence the cognitive side, but also physical side. So by drinking coffee, this can increase adrenaline, which can increase heart rate, blood flow, and just alertness in general. Plus you have the small placebo effect of I'm about to hit that cup of coffee so I can be pumped for my next workout session.
Do it! Just do it!
Next, coffee has been shown to reduce the time to exhaustion in endurance athletes. So this study done in 2013 showed significantly faster time trials in trained cyclists and triathletes, being up to 2 minutes faster in a 45-minute time trial compared to the placebo group or the decaffeinated group. So the above mentioned effects of the cognitive side, so alertness, attention for one specific point or attention for a longer period of time, with the improvements in blood flow, heart rate, concentration, time to exhaustion, can really be also a beneficial substance. So drinking coffee when you're on the playing field, when you're playing soccer, basketball, or any kind of sports where also tactical decisions are important. So the question also appears if professional athletes should reduce their coffee consumption in the few weeks before a competition so they can increase their sensitivity to caffeine, which will benefit them in the competition or in the match. But this study done in 2007 has shown that such a coffee fast is not necessary, and that low, moderate, and high consumers of coffee benefit just as much as if they wouldn't have stopped drinking coffee. But interestingly, they showed that in general, when people drink coffee more regularly, they can get better effects of coffee or of caffeine compared to people who almost never drink coffee and then use coffee for a time trial or a competition. So there's a lot of good effects, a lot of good points that coffee can affect, how it affects our body, how it affects our cognitive performance, even our emotional mood. But still, don't try to overdo it with the coffee consumption. Be careful, don't try to drink 15 cups a day, especially if it really affects your sleep quality, because it can also get you restless and jittery. And in general, I don't suggest drinking coffee past 2 p.m. or past lunchtime, because caffeine can still have its effects even 9 hours after consumption. So you don't want to drink a coffee late in the evening when you already have sleeping issues or have bad sleep quality, because that caffeine can really disrupt your sleep cycles and really affect your sleep quality in a negative way. So just before we go into a quick recap, just let me know if you have any kind of questions in the comments down below. So what are the main points from that video? First, coffee works by blocking the neurotransmitter adenosine, and by blocking this neurotransmitter, we can increase our brain activity, which can increase a neurotransmitter, for example, like adrenaline, which then increases our mood, our energy, and our alertness, our attention overall. It can also improve memory, enhances physical performance, including time to exhaustion in endurance sports, increased blood flow, and a higher concentration on the playing field for a longer period of time. So just try to avoid drinking too much coffee, especially if you're jittery, restless, and have a very bad sleep quality. If you like that video, just give it a quick thumbs up, consider subscribing, and click the bell. Stay happy and healthy.